Welcome in, everybody. It's Sunday, 8-game slate today. Sundays are always odd. You never know who's going to play, who's going to show up. The ninth guy on the bench decides to hit a home run. The leadoff guy goes 0 for 5. You never know what's going to happen, but it's Tony, it's Adam. It's here, Win Daily Sports at Win Daily Sports. Make sure you're following us on social formats. Right off the bat, there were some interesting the pitchers we go with. All of a sudden, decide Justin Dunn wants to pitch a gem. Bailey Falter turns in and goes to the Wizard of Oz, and all of a sudden he can pitch. And so you never know what's going to happen here. So it's Sunday. What route are we attacking today when it comes to pitching?
Yeah, certainly, it's baseball. Anything can happen, but when this is a game of putting forth your most educated guess, and I don't know how you avoid Shohei Ohtani on this slate. And, listen, could he have a bad start? Sure, but you're gonna be hard pressed to find the avenue to where it comes from. Detroit is dead last in OPS, on base, ISO, WRC plus, WOBA. They're 29th or 30th against the slider or fastball. Those are, Otani's two main pitches. Both sides of the plate are at least a 33% K rate for him. I mean, this is a spot where Ohtani should just mow them down and left and right.
He's a phenomenal talent when he's on, which he's been lately. He's on it. Like you just say, you broke down the metric of Detroit. That's nothing to sniff home about, right? So, what about a sleeper pitcher or a sneaky pitcher or a value pitcher or just your 1B? Who you're going to stack up Ohtani with today?
Yeah, I think I don't know how sneaky he'll be. He'll probably carry some popularity here, but Justin Steele is still too cheap. I mean, I know that the Brewers have individual hitters that can hit lefties well, but overall as a team, they've not ranked that well this season, and they have the third highest K rate. So yeah, I don't expect Justin Steele to go through and not give up any earned runs. I bet he gives up a home run, maybe two. He'll probably give up two, maybe even 3-4 runs. Hopefully not the 4 side of it, but he's going to strike out some hitters on this game. We just saw during the week we attacked them with Andrew Heaney. Unfortunately, he gave up 3 home runs. Andrew McCutchen just ruined his life that start, but he still scored over 20 DK points because he struck out double-digit Brewer hitters. I don't think Justin Steele gets to double digits, but if he gets to 6 or 7 or maybe even 8, and he keeps it under 3 runs or less, you're going to have a pretty good bargain here for 7,200.
And listen, the Cubs are on a roll, man. The Cubs are smoking hot right now. So just riding the energy of the Cubs. This is what happens. He's been very good. And when the team as a whole has been good, you kind of just follow that. So good for Justin Steele. I actually like to see that kind of thing happen. So, and it's unfolding out there in Chicago. The gods are on their side. So we'll see how far that goes into the future. But what about bats? Sneaky bats, hot bats. Let's go number one stack. What's the stack we're throwing out there today?
Well, I mean, we're not going to the Pirates. I know that because I'm still bitter over last night. But I think you have to start looking at the Twins. Arihara has just not been a very good pitcher in the majors to this point. Does get a pretty decent ground ball rate. I will give him that. But there's not much redeeming other than that. Hopefully the Twins have pretty much their whole lineup. I know a guy like Byron Buxton sits, fairly often with his knee this season. But even if they don't, there's just too many good hitters to not think they're going to get the Arihara here. Even if Buxton sits out, you're still looking at Correa, Polanco, Jose Miranda, Kepler, too many professional hitters. And a guy like Miranda is hitting extremely well lately. 317 average, 851 OPS over his last 10.
A lot of value for Minnesota, 100%. A lot of value. We talk about that all the time. I mean, after Buxton, you mentioned Correa, 4,800. I mean, Polanco, 4,000. Miranda's hot. I mean, you could put Polanco and Miranda in there as 2 cornerstones of a value play stack, and it's only 7,800. You really have to look at that. Anything out there as far as underrated, as far as sneaky when it comes to the bats?
As far as the sneaky side of it, I kind of want to go the Mets. I know that Bailey Falter, he kind of dazzled them last night. I don't think Kyle Gibson's all that good. Yes, he has starts where, he looks unhittable. Just like this last start against Cincinnati, 29.9 DK points. In a vacuum, the Mets lineup is way more talented than Kyle Gibson. And I don't think the Mets have been a little bit cold lately, but I have that feeling this is one of those Gibson starts where he just gets smacked around. And I also kind of like the Braves too. Urquidy's nothing special, and he's worse against the right side of the plate. That's not exactly what you want to see when you're trying to go against the Braves, who are generally righty heavy. They've been a little bit more on the left side, with Michael Harris's emergence and everything. But that will lead me into my first home run pick. And I'm going to go William Contreras. Urquidy throws the fastball a ton, and that is the pitch that Contreras has his best success on. over 500 ISO against a righty fastball. So I think Contreras is going to leave the yard today.
I like that. I like that. And make sure you're checking out the home run model on Win Daily Sports. Make sure you get on that free month Sticks 22 NFL rankings up. We got everything covered, but that home run model every day is producing some top 5 lineups when it comes to home run props. And I'll continue with that. As much as I hate to agree with you because it is the Phillies, I watch Kyle Gibson pitch more than any other pitcher on this slate because obviously it's in Philadelphia and he has his quirks, man. Like, even if he strikes out 8, he's still giving up 5 runs. So people do make contact against him. So I understand, but I'm going to go on the other side. We have a rookie pitching. And again, me and you were talking about this, Jose Buto. Listen, he had a really short stint in AAA. He comes up, he's going to pitch. You never know what's going to happen. Citizens Bank Park. So I'm going to go with another young guy going up against a young guy. And I'm going to go with Derek Hall. Listen, he came in and pitched yesterday, which was pretty interesting. Didn't know he was a college pitcher. All right, he actually had some movement on the ball. He was throwing like 86-mile-an-hour sliders, man.
I mean, that's not bad at all.
No,
better than a 50-mile-an-hour junk ball. You're just hoping up, talking up there, hoping you get an outlet.
It's crazy. Come to find out, he was a pitcher in college, and it looks like he never lost his stuff. So I didn't know. Maybe they need another 6 pitcher in the rotation. But listen, this kid from the left side of the plate, and it's Citizens Bank Park today. He's had a day of rest. Sometimes you get a spark in unlikely places. Hoskins hitting the ball hard. These guys are hitting the ball hard and getting hard outs. So I'm going to go Derek Hall today for the home run prop, and maybe Oppo today too. He went Oppo those last 2 times. Could be Oppo or a second deck dinger in right field. Adam, other home run prop number 2. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm not going to be full stacking this team, so this is probably just me, more the home run prop. I'm going to go Vlad Guerrero, who's been pretty hot here lately. They do get the lefty and Nestor Cortez, and listen, Cortez is a quality pitcher. He's certainly not a gas can or anything like that. But he does throw his fastball 40% of the time against the right side of the plate, and that's the pitch that Vlad just destroys. 509 ISO, 624 WOBA in Yankee Stadium. It doesn't have to go quite as far as some of the other stadiums in the league. We'll leave it at that. I don't want to full stack the Blue Jays lineup because Cortez probably doesn't get blown up, but I do think he gives up a dong to Vlad Jr. today.
I like it. I like Vlad going yard. And I'm going to attack your Pittsburgh Pirates here for my second home run prop up against Zach Thompson, who's given up 4 home runs in 4 games. The guy's been a hit machine against him. I'm going to go Jonathan India. Here's a guy I rode last year in DFS. Always a great value, not hitting as many home runs, but still has that power. I just watched it when they played Philly. So he has that ability to go long. So a little bit of a longer shot, but I do like Jonathan Indy today based on Zach Thompson's home run give up potential, I should call it. But Adam, before we get out of here, any final thoughts on today's little 8-game slate?
So I'll give out one sneaky pitcher because I don't think anybody's really going to use him. I think Justin Steele or Joe Ryan's going to be popular. You can drop down a couple $100 more and go to Eduardo Rodriguez today. I generally don't love using pitchers coming off a long injury stint, but he did build up to 6 innings in his rehab starts. So that he can go deep enough into the game. I wouldn't be overly shocked if Mike Trout sat today, coming back from his back injury that needs managed. But even if he's in, this Angels lineup has not hit lefties the entire season. They're in the bottom 5 in all the major offensive categories. They strike out over 24% of the time. Mike Trout's awesome, but he's not solving all those issues. I think Erod can be pretty sneaky here and get towards that 20 DK mark.
I like that play. And again, this is why we give you the value plays here to get your lineup a little different. I mean, just look at his stats. 6+ innings besides the last one he got hurt in Tampa Bay. 6+ innings, only 6 hits given up, right? 11 strikeouts and going deep into games. Like we just said, pitches 90, 102, 99, 104, 6,900 people. You just need the Ks and the innings pitched, and you're going to get your money. So another great call right there when it comes to value orange. But as always, at Win Daily Sports, it's Tony, it's Adam. Make sure you check this before you get your lineups in. It's Sunday, so you got to get them early. Stay healthy and remain profitable, and we'll catch you next time.